Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're watching me from. So I'll be talking about overcoming depression and suicidal thought. And before we go deep on that, what do you understand by the term depression? Now, depression is a mood disorder that causes persistent feeling of sadness, emptiness, or loss of joy. You see, it is different from our regular mood fluctuation that people regularly have as part of their life. Major life events can trigger depression, such as loss of job, losing someone important, losing something valuable, and lots more can cause depression. Depression can undermine a person's relationship, making working and maintaining a good health very difficult. And in several cases, it can lead to suicide. That is where the suicidal thought come in. Depression have contributed to nearly 79% of suicide in the country. Yes, every year there's always been a talk about someone committing suicide in this country, and it happened almost everywhere around the world and the state. Yes. So what cause all those depressions, and what caused this to lead them to suicidal thoughts? Now, depression can affect adults, children, adolescent ages, and so on and so forth. It can affect anybody close to you, be it a child or an adult. And who knows, basically the children. Now let's go deep. Signs and symptoms of depression. Now let me tell you, there are different ways to know or signs and symptoms of depression once it comes. And number one is persistent depression mood. Yes, persistent depression mood. And now what does that say? Persistent depression mood is always being down, like always being down. There's nothing like at this particular time this person is always down. You are always feeling sad, unhappy, or you're lacking something. Yes, that is persistent depression mood. Two is loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities. Now, what do that one says? You know you are a playful person, then all of a sudden you change from being a playful person to a moody person, and it's always persistent. Just know it's signs of depression. Yes, maybe you're passing through more challenges or the other. That is why those things come up. So if you find yourself not liking the things you used to like, not always frequently loving the things you used to do, those are signs of depression. Number three is change in appetite or maybe body weight. Now, let me tell you that one. That one is two things. It's either you're losing weight or you're gaining excessive weight. Now, when they say change in appetite, it's either you are eating more or eating less, or always taking something to make you feel happy or to make those depression thoughts calm down. And I know some people that they are depressed and what they just think of is, in most cases, they do not feel like eating, and it's make them lose weight and maybe not become fit or healthy. And in more cases, they become too fat or too oversized, causing them a lot of health issues, cause of depression. So now, the next one is unusual slowness in movement. Now, what did they say about that one? Or what is this one actually saying? This one is saying that maybe they are not usually themselves. While working or doing things, they always tend on like doing it slow because they are lost in thought most times, and it makes them really, really slow. So unusual slowness can also be a sign of depression. Yes. Number five is difficulty in sleeping or oversleeping. Now, difficulty in sleeping, most times they face challenges while sleeping because maybe it might be a cause of trauma, which might cause them not to have proper and good time in sleeping because they're always thinking about their loss or the cause of the trauma. Why oversleepers? They tend to find joy while sleeping. They can sleep for hours and not even want to wake up. They are always lying in the bed. Those are forms and signs of. And the next one, which is number 6, is excessive feeling of guilt or worthlessness. Now, what is this one trying to say? What is this one trying to point at? Excessive feeling of guilt. Maybe a trauma of like death and they were there. They feel like they were the cause of it or they are the cause of it. This sort of thing also is a trauma, either from childhood or from any experience that is awkward. Now we'll go to those things and the cause of depression soon. But once they are always feeling extremely guilt because of something, and it's always true, or worthlessness. They always feel like they are not enough. They are not worthy of maybe your presence, your time, or anything. They are just feeling so worthless. Those are signs of depression. Number 7 is difficulty in concentration or making decisions. Now, they find it difficult to be concentrated because their mind are always disturbed about certain things that will put them into this depression mode. Why? They find it difficult to make decisions, and they always end up making wrong decisions because of the signs of depression, or because of depression. They find it difficult to make decisions and make it right. They choose wrongly, most especially in friends and all those things, and they can be inflated with people around them, like drunkards and all those ones. If they're not into it because they're in a depression mode, and it's hard for them to make decisions, they end up living a life that is not supposed to be theirs, like smoking, drinking, and all of that. Most people you see that are smoking or living an unhealthy life, taking drugs and all of that, some are saying are because they were into depression and they find joy in those things, like smoking, drinking alcohol, and taking it too excessively, just for them to find joy in it. Last but not the least, which is number 8. So they have this thought of becoming dead or committing suicide, which is suicidal attempts. And why? Because it has always, the depression has already clouded their senses not to think again, and all they feel like we solve their problem is ending their life. That is why you see most various cases of suicide. They are depressed, and the depression has come too much that the only thing they think about is suicidal thoughts or how to die. So once you see a friend or anybody that is down in any way, always try to reach out to people. Always know and try to reach out to people, your friends, your family, your loved ones. Try to communicate with them and try to key in with them. Causes of depression. Number 1 causes of depression is loss of family members. 2, heartbreak. 3, loss of job and status. Number 4, financial problems. 5, accident. 6, lack of social support. 7, loss of properties. 8, sexual abuse. Now, losing of family members can cause depression when you are too close to those people. When you find comfort in those people and you lose them, it can put one into depression. Heartbreak, when you find too much connection between you and a person, and that person end up breaking your heart or end up doing something that hurts your heart, it can cause depression and even make you go sadder. Heartbreak is one painful thing, and I do not even wish even my enemy to experience heartbreak. Yes, heartbreak is so painful. Loss of job or status. Now, them having a job and them also losing it can also cause depression, or having a huge image and all of a sudden that image just crumble. It can put them into deep depression. Financial problems. For example, you are owing somebody or you're owing a loan and you do not have the money to pay. It can put one into depression, and it might even lead them to committing suicide because they feel like the only way they can escape that loan or that debt is by debt. So financial problems can lead to depression, and it can also cause suicidal thoughts. Accident. Now, having a very traumatic accident can cause the depression. For example, having an accident that can lead to you losing your leg or losing your eyesight and all of that. They're knowing that they could do those things before and no longer do it can push them into depression. Now, lack of social support. I think 3 days ago I was watching this thing on TikTok that a girl who was like, she's so fat, and because of her fatness, they started body shaming her online. She made a video and a lot of people was body shaming her, and I think after a week after making that video, she ended her life. She committed suicide. Now, lack of social support can lead to depression and suicidal thoughts. So instead of you condemning or insulting people, use those time to praise them the way they are. Don't badmouth, don't body shame anybody. Because if it were you won't want them to do the same thing to you. Losing of properties. Now, when you lose your properties, for example, you know there's a person I know of, very wealthy. I think he's a woman that even came outside the country, and I think he was duped, something like that, and he lost all his properties. This, because of that, it caused him to go like traumatized. The depression lead him even to madness, and it was only small thing that made it not be madness. So losing of properties that you cherish can make you fall into depression. This last one, it's like happening every day, every time. It's a constant feeling. Sexual abuse, being abused sexually by someone you know and someone you don't know. It can fall you deeply into depression. Sexual abuse is one of the most painful thing, and I do not even want anybody to experience it. And it happens to both male and female, and it's mostly common in female. They are always sexually abused of their right. Ways to overcome depression. There are many ways to overcome depression, and if you put it in your mind and you really want to overcome it, it's always come out positive. And one of that way is going to physiotherapists. Now, physiotherapists or counseling, by having someone that will mentor you in whatsoever way you are losing it helps, and slow and steady you might overcome depression. The next way to overcome depression is always doing things that make you feel happy. Never feel left out. Always the things you know and you feel like if you should do them, it's going to make you happy. Do them. Gladly do them with all your heart, and make sure you do them with all excitement. Another way to overcome depression is being around your family and loved ones, the people you feel are important in your life and they can add value to your life. Be around them, be it family or friends, loved ones. Be around those people that make you feel happy. Another way is always being around people. Now, if you are alone, it causes that depression state to always come back. So always learn to be around people. Be it family, friends, anybody you know you can feel free with. Associate yourself with people, because the minute you indulge yourself from those people, it brings back the thought of depression because you are always thinking about what make you go traumatized. Last one, I think I've also said it in the previous one. Never be alone. Never be alone. Never be alone. If you are feeling the thought of depression, do not even think of being alone for a moment. Always be around people. And if possible, you are staying alone, carry your loved ones or your friends that you know can make you feel happy and active. Just bring them in, and don't feel alone, don't be alone, so that you won't have that feeling of suicidal till you overcome the depression thoughts. And to those people watching me out there, I just have just a request. You should learn to communicate with people and know what they are into. Learn to be open up and make them express themselves to you. Be open and free to conversations. And who knows, someone might be into depression, and you talking to them might enlighten them and encourage them and bring them out of that depression thought. So always do that. Learn to communicate.